Said she see me in her dream. She wanna go out, let's go have a drink. I told her that I only sip on
Here we go.
She said, what do that mean? That mean I only sip on me. She want me on the team. She know a nigga getting green. Your ass get cremated. Your ass get left on the pavement. Pay up me with my payment. I heard you wrote a statement. Acting like you don't know that shit blatant. Hold on, nigga, wait to the top about that basement. I push your shit adjacent. I run in your crib and leave it vacant. Everything I'm taking, on everything ain't talking. I hear that bullshit often, but I don't care. I got my team, bitch, gon' straight like a dolphin. I turn your bitch to a fiend. I put my kid on
Cowboy Nation.
I can't explain, it, cannot believe. Sometimes you gotta change, nigga, cut my pocket change.
Here we go.
Something not the same, good, something you ain't understood. I think you need to understand, you don't wanna act like my.
Here we go. Whoa.
Said she see me in her dream. She wanna go out, let's go have a drink. I told her that I only sip on lean. She said, what do that mean? That mean I only sip on lean. She want me on the team. She know my nigga getting green. Your ass get cremated. Your ass get left on the pavement. Pay up me with my payment. I heard you wrote a statement. Acting like you don't know that shit blatant. Hold on, nigga, wait a minute. That's your nigga ain't. He look like an anus. We not coming to face this. I don't know why they use us. I'm tired of feeling famous. I pick all who got flavors. We used to be the tickets. Then we pull up, hand out people. You better you respect. He ain't know this bitch was giving it up. That ain't nothing new. Niggas just look at her. She a man. He a white dude. Look like you don't know what to do. You make me uncomfortable. Don't roll off all that stupid. That's on you.
Cowboy Nation. Here we go.
Apply this.
Here we go. 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 Ah, man, where do we start? Where do we start? Well, let's look at it like this. Every once in a while, you got to get served some humbling pie. Every once in a while, you got to get served. You get a taste of your own medicine. We've been whooping tail for 5 weeks. 5 weeks straight, we've been whooping tail. And guess what? We got our tail whooped today. So we haven't had a whooping like that since San Francisco. Wasn't as bad as San Francisco. Wasn't as bad as we beat Philly last week. But nonetheless, we did get it beaten. Philly didn't even get any points on the board last week. So we got to look at it and say, hey, man, we put some points on the board, scored a touchdown. Our offense scored a touchdown. But we still have that same gorilla in the room. Still have that same gorilla in the room that continues to show up week after week, game after game, no matter, what how we try to combat the Cowboy critics, the Cowboy demons. They still seem to show up time after time after time after time after time. They continue to show up. And I mean, I just want to say that, we got to do better. We got to, I would say we have to put some things in perspective. We got to put some things as a priority to keep this train moving during this time of the year, which we all know this is a critical time of the year for the Dallas Cowboys team. They got to play. They got to keep the momentum high so that they can get into the playoffs and impose their will. And I've been talking about imposing our will. I've been talking about imposing our will and imposing our will and imposing our will. But at some point in time, the team has to get it in order for teams to literally fear us. Now, I would dare say this, that the Buffalo Bills didn't fear the Dallas Cowboys today. Oh, no, 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 they didn't. They didn't fear the Dallas Cowboys today. And you want to know why? It's because they were playing on their home turf. Now, one thing we couldn't do is um, we cannot use weather as an issue on why we were incapable of doing the things that we needed to do to win. I mean, it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. The running game had Cooks by himself. Cooks by himself had 221 total yards. Mm, mm. That was a career high for him, and he's only been in the league 2 years. 221 yards. Unbelievable. We can stop right there. We know where the issue is, where the issue lies. Now, we have to do better. We have to, let's just face it, guys. I mean, we got our teeth kicked in. We got our butt kicked. It ain't no sugarcoat it whatsoever. It ain't no trying to jump over to Philly and say, aha, and we beat you all last week, yah ha ha. You know, we just got an old-fashioned butt whooping. Call it like you see it. We got an old-fashioned butt whooping, and they should have known what that guy, Josh Allen, can do against this team if you're not coming in to play the way you're capable of playing for the past 5 weeks. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Right, and I see that. I see that. And that's one of the main things that they have to do is the defense is going to have to start playing better, playing quicker. The defense is going to have to start setting the tone. The defense got the first down in the game, and they automatically started playing on their heels. It's unbelievable. The defense is what set the tone for the offense. The defense did. The move that the defense implemented during the game, during the first drive of the game, it rolled right over into the offense. It rolled over to the offense. Mike McCarthy, since our offense was hot, let the offense set the tone, not the defense. Not the defense. Why? Because the defense is leading the league now in penalties. The defense. The Cowboys' defense is leading the league in penalty and yards after the penalty. The Cowboys had 2 fourth-down drives whereby penalties caused them to keep the drive alive. That's 30 yards that the defense allowed the offense to keep the drive alive to score points. Now, I'm going to ride on this defense for a little while because first and foremost, we got to address the elephant in the room, which is the penalties. One of the other things that we have to address in this room as another fat elephant is the tackling abilities of the DBs, of the defense entirely. If you are trying to tackle with your shoulder, you ain't doing a good job as it relates for the team and getting these guys on the ground. If you're going to bump them, it's called bump. You're playing bump and run. You're bumping them, but they keep on running. The defense have to do a better job tackling. And tackling is fundamental. It's fundamental football. You kick yourself in the foot because of 2 things. You're not tackling. And 2, you're doing bonehead, you're causing bonehead penalties, bonehead plays that's resulting in the sticks to continue to move, which keeps the offense on the field longer, which also keeps the defense on the field longer. Let me say, the defense was spent after the first drive. They were spent. They were done. They were done. I don't know what Michael Parsons was doing. I don't know what D. Law was doing. And they speaking about D. Law. D. Law, you can't say one thing one week and then come back the following week and have the exact same thing that you said about the other team happen to you. You got punched in the mouth. They kept punching you in your mouth. But what did you do? I'm one of the ones who call an ace, a spade, a spade. What did you do, D-Law? What did you do? Nothing. You didn't do anything. I didn't see anybody out there tackling. I didn't see anybody. I did not see any one defensive player that tackled. Hmm? Hmm? I didn't see it. Okay? So we got to understand the dynamics that's taking place with this offense. And then unfortunately, for whatever reason, one feeds off the other. When we need all of them clicking at the same time, we need all cylinders on both sides of the ball clicking at the same time, moving in the right direction. We got one moving in the opposite direction, and the other one is pulling the other one in the opposite direction. Nobody is going nowhere. The defense is not playing well, and now the offense is not playing well. And so, what happens when you have 14 points on the board by the defense and their negligence, their unwillingness to play disciplined football? What happens? Well, when our offense hit the football field, guess what happens? Their defense, Buffalo's defense, or whoever defense, can pin their ears back and they can go after the quarterback with all kind of exotic pressures and exotic blitzes to get the Dallas Cowboys off rhythm before they can even get on rhythm, because everybody knows that the Dallas Cowboys have a high-powered offense. They got the best number one offense in the league as it relates to scoring. But for 3 quarters, the Dallas Cowboys only put up 3 points. Let that sink in for a minute. So, I mean, it's not necessarily coming on to rant, but it's just pointing out some specifics, it's pointing out in details and things that the Cowboys got to do better. And that's not even talk about Mike McCarthy and him not going for it on that Diggs fumble. I'm greatly surprised. Is this: we have timeouts, use them. Use the timeout so that the referees or the officials can review the play. Okay, let them review the play. Cause them to review the play. Okay, when in doubt, pull the flag out. When in doubt, pull the flag out, because he would have been right to do so. If they're trying to hurry up, that's a dead giveaway. If they're trying to hurry up their offense to run a play, that's a dead giveaway. Timeout. Time out, so we can get this under examination. So that's one hit on Mike McCarthy. I really can't say too much about Mike McCarthy's game plan, because at this point in time, like I said, the defense was smelling blood in the first quarter. They were smelling blood in the first quarter, and the offense, our defense, was just doing bonehead play after bonehead play. It is unreal. It's unbelievable. Now we have to deal with the penalties, and on top of the penalties, we got to deal with injuries. Now, what our defensive players must do also, our defensive players, man, have to stop looking for the flag. Play through it. Play through it. Dak Prescott didn't complain at all this game. He got hit, he got molded, he got sacked. He threw one pick, and we all knew that was going to happen. I called it before it even took place. We knew that Dak Prescott, because of the mode that they were in, the psyche that they were in, throw the football, throw the football, throw the football, throw the football. When you are going back that many times throwing the football, he almost had 3 other picks because of the throwing. And we all knew coming down the pipe that he was going to end up throwing the pick. We knew that because this is what the defense does to put the offense in that kind of position to throw a pick six. Why? Because of the lackadaisical play and undisciplined play of the defense. Defense, which is the reason why Mike McCarthy sometimes needs to rethink, especially going to a hostile environment such as Buffalo. Now, the temperatures wasn't like they could have been. But since it wasn't, let me get my offense on the football field first. Let me get them out there first and let them set the tone. Now give your defense an opportunity. If the offense would have scored, guess what? The tables now have turned, and now the defense can go after the offense. Especially when your defense have been playing suspect football. They've been playing suspect football. Let's deal with the injuries. We got injuries on the football field with Zach Taylor. We got Donovan Wilson. We have a couple of I didn't want to see that. That's the reason why we have. Let's see here. We got Donovan Wilson. We got Zach Martin. Terrible score, that is. Terrible score. 31-10. Unbelievable. I think that's it. So as it stands for the past 2 weeks, we have Zach Martin, Donovan Wilson, and Big Hank are down. Now, these are the defensive woes that is now plaguing, aside from Zach Martin. These are the defensive woes that are now starting to plague the Dallas Cowboys defense. The Dallas Cowboys defense. Now, in what I was trying to describe earlier, man, we are hurting on the defensive side of the ball now. We have players in position starting off with Trayvon Diggs. And we really didn't, let me say this, we really didn't miss a beat as it relates to Trayvon Diggs. We didn't miss a beat in the cornerback position because my boy stepped right in. Bland stepped in, man, and Bland has done a phenomenal job. Of course, they try to pick on him here and there, but I'm surprised they didn't pick on Bland as much this game. And the defense just got rattled with the run game. And if the Dallas Cowboys don't fix that run defense, man, we're going to be in trouble going up against the San Francisco or any team that can pound the rock. They're going to be in trouble. So they really, really need to focus on this run game, which brings me to a Dominican Sue. The Dallas Cowboys had an opportunity to pick up a Dominican Sue, but didn't do it. This is a prime example of why we needed Sue. I said, I'm going to say it again. This is a prime example why we needed Sue. We needed Sue, man, because, hey, Sue sets the tone in that middle to negate any run. So if anybody that's going to run the football, guess where they're going to run? They're running on the outside. They're going to run away from Sue in that inside, that penetration. They're running away from that. So you need, if Big Hank is down, you need a Dominican Sue in there. Have an opportunity to pick him up, but they didn't pick him up. And this is what you're going to face coming down in this time of the year. You're going to face trench fighting. And this is what we're facing right now. The Dallas Cowboys is now up against in the trenches. They're fighting now in the trenches, and you need somebody there that can clog it up, that can suck it up and get it done. We don't have that. Big Hank is down. We don't know how long Big Hank is going to be down. But I think the Dallas Cowboys would need to rethink. They really need to rethink their position as it relates to that uh, inside nose tackle position. So the defense have a lot to clean up. I don't want to hear nobody talk about, nah, it wasn't the defense. It was Dak Prescott. Nah, this happened before Dak got on the football field. This happened the first drive of the game. The first drive of the game, Buffalo set the tone. They set the tempo the first drive of the game. And when they got in their second drive, they reiterated their intentions against the Dallas Cowboys. They reiterated their intentions to the Dallas Cowboys that we're going to run y'all out of Buffalo. And the defense wasn't up for the challenge. Defense wasn't up for the challenge. Okay. First quarter, 7 points. Second quarter, 14 points. Okay. Aubrey kicked their field goal. In the second quarter, going into the half, going into the second quarter, going into the half, it was 14-3 going into the half. No, I take that back. It's 21-3 going into the half. And listen, 21 points off of penalties, man. You cannot win a football game when your defense is giving up 21 points in the first half. And it's no offense. Rarely is there going to be an offense that's going to come back from a 21-3 deficit. And you haven't even gotten to the third quarter yet. It's no way. No way. No way. 21-3 going to the half. Third quarter, they kick a field goal, 24-3. Okay? By the fourth quarter, they score another touchdown. 31-3. Dallas come back with a touchdown at the end of the game. 31-10. You're not going to win ball games like that when you are behind the 8 ball and your defense is playing the way our defense has played. They played the same way against San Francisco. They tried to play the same way against Seattle, and they tried to play the same way against the Eagles. But they did better with the Eagles than they did with this game against the Buffalo Bills and the San Francisco 49ers. We got a lot to clean up. Cowboys got a lot to clean up. Now, the positives are this. Here's the positives. The positives is they have a lot of takeaways from this game that they can build on. And I'm not going to tell you that the Dallas Cowboys will not go deep into the playoffs. They definitely, most certainly will. But they're going to have to play extremely better on the defensive side of the ball. You can't always expect the offense to bail the defense out, especially when the defense is playing as poor as they played today. Played absolutely poor. I mean, the tackling alone drove me crazy today. Just the tackling alone drove me crazy today. I've seen players throwing their bodies up against the runners, and the runners are still running. You on the ground. Whatever happened to wrapping up players and putting them on the ground? I mean, the Dallas Cowboys do a poor job of that. And I used to get on Trayvon Diggs about that. I was so sick during the San Francisco game last year in the playoffs when Trayvon Diggs threw his body up against Kelsey and he ran it in for a touchdown. I was so upset about that. We got to get out of that. What are they teaching these players, these cornerbacks, man? and these defenders. And yeah, you got big linemen and linebackers doing the same thing. They ain't wrapping up and tackling. They throwing their bodies up against them. And how in the world are you tackling like that and the runner is still going? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's what you call scared football. If you're gonna punch somebody in the mouth, I'm gonna knock you out. I'm gonna wrap you up and knock you out. You know what I'm saying? He may hit you with a tackle to knock you out. Total offense, Buffalo 351 against the Cowboys 195. Turnovers, Dak had one turnover. And like I said, we knew that was going to happen. We knew that was going to take place. Okay. First downs, Buffalo 28 to the Cowboys 14. It was a rough game for the Cowboys. And now, like I said on Law Nation's post, hey, listen, you win some, you lose some. You just don't want to lose like this. You know, you at least want to put up a fight. You at least want to, put your best foot forward. You at least want to show that you have the tenacity and the will to fight. And I would say Dak Prescott is a leader because Dak was still running. He still was running for first. The score was 31-3. And Dak Prescott was still running. He still was trying to get first downs. He still was trying to rally his guys and let them know that there is a greater reward. There's a greater prize ahead, and we can't let this one win destroy what we have accomplished all season, especially the 5-game winning streak. Okay, the winning streak is done. It's over. Now, guess what? Let's start another winning streak. And how we do that? First thing is first, we got to correct these penalties. Okay? We got to correct these penalties. The Cowboys had 5 penalties, okay, which resulted in 48 yards. Okay, Buffalo had 1 penalty, which resulted in 15 yards, and that was a 15-yard penalty against Dak Prescott. And as you all know, it didn't cost us any yards because the first penalty, remember, offset. So that didn't cost us and cost them any yards. But then there was another penalty against Dak Prescott that was a 15-yard penalty. They had 1 penalty for 15 yards. We had 5 penalties for 48 yards. 5 penalties for 48 yards. And 2 of them resulted in touchdowns. 14 points. You minus the 14 points, we are in the game. We're in the game. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that this team sometimes becomes so lackadaisical that they don't understand what's at stake. They don't understand what the mission is sometimes. Okay? They don't understand it. So if we take a look at that, you minus that, what? 31 minus 14 points? That's 17 points. We're only down a touchdown. The score is 17-10 if the defense play their game. And then the offense doesn't have to worry about these exotic blitzes because guess what? Now they got to pay attention to their secondary because CeeDee Lamb is going off because Cooks is cooking them. And they don't have to worry about the pressure. Dak Prescott don't have to worry about the pressure that the defense is imposing on him because the score is so high. That's why Dak Prescott was under duress the entire game. Defense got to do better. Now, like I said, there's a bright side to all of this. Pollard looks strong to me. Having Pollard going down the stretch is going to be pivotal. Pollard looks like he's starting to run strong, especially in the rain. He's running real strong. And they're going to have to lean on him. I also think that they're going to have to utilize the fullback a little better. I think that uh, two back set is going to be a very, very good look for the Cowboys if they utilize it to get the defense off balance a little more. Now, here's the bright side. The good news is that we can look for a solace in all of this moving into, and I presume that he's going to be activated going into the Miami game. He's going to be activated, which is going to be a home game, I presume. But I want to double check that very quickly. I think that that is going to be a home game um, in Dallas. Let's double check very, very quickly. Uh, no, the Dallas Cowboys will be on the road. I'm mistaken. The Dallas Cowboys. But let me say this. That's not a bad road game now, as it relates to the temperature, the weather. That's not going to be a bad game. That's a game that you really want to rebound on the road to get a win, to get back in the winning column, moving into what is that? The will be the 15th week. The 15th week is a pivotal week. We got to win that game. Um, the Detroit game, I think, will be at Dallas. I think I'm right about that. Let's see. Yep, the Lions will be at Dallas, which will be a very, very good game for the Cowboys to end on a positive note. And then the Washington game, which the Cowboys should definitely win hands down. Now, although we know divisional rivalry games can go either way, but I still believe I'm confident that Dallas can get, I think they will get the last three games. The Dallas Cowboys will get on a 3-game winning streak the last three games. One thing I will say about this team is that when it really matters, the Cowboys uh, stand up after a defeat, after a loss. I'm not saying the defense will play stellar, but the offense definitely rebounds and plays a better ball game than the previous. And this is what our hopes is moving forward with the Dallas Cowboys during that game. Now, I mentioned Martavis Bryant. Martavis Bryant, I believe, will be activated that game. We're going to need as many weapons as possible. And as you can see, CeeDee Lamb got banged up pretty good this game. I didn't like to see CeeDee. I was hoping they was going to take CeeDee Lamb out of the game, but obviously they had intentions for him because he was one scored touchdown to give us the 10 points. But CeeDee Lamb was banged up. Now you're going to need, and as you saw, you're going to need a Martavis Bryant to take the top off the defense, especially when you're throwing the ball to a Cook who's small. Cook is a slot receiver, stretching the defense. He's not going to do much of a stretch on the defense. You need a body size, a size player like Martavis Bryant who can put you in the mindset of a CeeDee Lamb. So now you have to pay attention to both of these receivers, which will open up the middle wide open for Cook to do his thing, and also Pollard coming out the backfield to do his thing. And so the offense is really going to be potent if we can stay healthy for the duration of the season. If we can stay healthy, the Cowboys are going to be in good shape. So guys, don't you get upset. Don't start throwing away your Cowboys jersey like Skip Bayless and throwing them in the trash can. Get prepared for Monday morning, which is going to be not Victory Monday, but it's going to be challenging Monday because of all of the Cowboy critics are going to come out. And they're going to tell you, I told you so. I told you Dak Prescott is average. I told you that the defense are not them boys. I told you they're not the hot boys. You're going to hear all of that coming from the Sherman Williams, the Stephen A. Smith, the Shannon Sharps, the the Shady McCoys of the world. You're going to hear all of that coming in on Monday because of this loss against Buffalo. And then now they're going to say Buffalo is a contender. They beat the Dallas Cowboys. They are a contender. That's hogwash. That's hogwash. Yeah. Josh Allen has been playing seesaw football the entire year. He has 14 interceptions on the season. And listen, he has been playing nothing short of good. He has not been playing good at all. Okay, so we take a look at what the Dallas Cowboys did today. The Dallas Cowboys shot themselves in the foot once again, and it started with the defense. So don't go listen to all of this stuff that the defense is not the hot boys and the offense were who they were. Dak Prescott is average. Don't listen to none of that stuff. The Dallas Cowboys, mark my words, will put a whipping on the Miami Dolphins. And I'm predicting a high score on that game, in that game. And I'm going to tell you my prediction right now. Write it down, take a picture, record it, remember it. I don't care. The Dallas Cowboys will put up a 50 burger on the Miami Dolphins. Watch. And that score is going to be right around 52 to 17. 52 to 17. The Dallas Cowboys are going to show up in Grand Storm. And they playing in the weather in weather that is not inclement. They're playing in nice weather in Miami. So trust me, that's going to be just like a home game. So, guys, we got a lot of work to do, man. And the defense is going to have to pick it up once again. Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn, they are really going to have to deal with this defense, man, to negate a lot of these penalties that we are facing, man, week after week after week after week. It's ridiculous. 5 penalties for 48 yards is unacceptable. But it is not the penalties. It is when they decide to penalize. It's when they decide to make a bonehead mistake. It's when they do it. And they do it. How are you doing it at third down? This would have been fourth down, and they are off the field. It is third down, and you cause a bonehead penalty. Something as simple as a punt block. And the punter or the runner doesn't have sense enough to know, don't jump. Hands out in a triangle, block the football. You're up in the air. I don't know what he was thinking. Up in the air, and it's unreal. You're up in the air. You have no control of yourself at all. And bonehead. DeMarcus Lawrence, roughing the passing. Bonehead. You could have got off the field. Penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty cost us a game. So listen, game is over with. We lost. Got our butt kicked. 31-10. Takeaways from the game is this. You learn. You make mistakes. It's better to lose one now than to lose them later. Learn from them. Because you know that the McCaffrey running back for the San Francisco 49ers is just sitting back waiting. He's licking his chops and saying, man, if this guy Cook can put up 221 on that defense, I'm licking my chops. So you're going to have to do something to negate the run, to inflict your will against these offenses, to let them know that you're not going to run on us. And be emphatic about it, because now everyone is looking at it as this is the blueprint to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Just run on them. Run. When you run hard. We got to let them know that is not the recipe to beat us. You're going to have to beat us in every phase of the game in order to beat the Dallas Cowboys. And even that is not going to be enough. That's the mindset and that's the attitude that you got to have. Hey, man, let's do this thing. And the Dallas Cowboys, man, we know what we got to do. Okay, we know what we got to do, and let's make it happen, man. Here we go. 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 How about them Cowboys, baby? How about them Cowboys? It ain't over till it's over. It ain't over till it's over. Open till it's over, baby. It ain't over yet. We just getting started. Whoop, whoop. We just getting started. Just getting started. Uh, 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 uh. How about them Cowboys? Cowboy Nation. The best nation. Uh, uh, uh. We don't die. We multiply. This is what we do, baby. Here we go. Cowboy Nation. We got this. We on our way. Peace.